Hello, and welcome to our Capstone Design Project poster presentation. For the last year, Julian and I have been working on the development of an Android application for a local startup called Figo. First off, we're going to discuss the motivation behind this problem. As you know, we live in an age surrounded by social media and technology, which has an extreme impact on businesses, specifically the food industry. A shocking 69% of millennials take a picture of their food before they eat it, and 43% of Instagram users' top interest is food and drink. People post what they are eating constantly, and look at what others are eating as well. This leads to the idea that we eat with our eyes. Due to this, there can be up to a 30% increase in sales simply by including a nice-looking photo next to a menu item description. The way food looks is now more important than ever before. Figo allows users to browse restaurants and menu items with high-quality photos, and in addition, relieves customers from uncertainty and disappointment when it comes to their orders.
Throughout this project, Ariel took on more of a project management role, which involved the planning and scheduling of meetings and putting together reports. She also took on a secondary development role. Since I took on the primary development role, I had to split development tasks between us and also participated in the bulk of code review sessions. In addition, I contributed to the project reports with technical documentation. The first thing we had to do in beginning this project was to figure out how to model the data for the restaurants and menu items. We came up with a rough idea of how we wanted to model the data and then adapted it as needed based on the data present in the database. The data representation shown here is the final product. We also had to come up with a suitable app architecture. The initial architecture was based on the recommended pattern to use when building an Android application called the Model View View Model pattern. This pattern refers to the Android views, which are the things a user sees on the phone screen, observing a set of data in a corresponding view model. View models get their data from the repository class, which from the front-end's perspective is the single source of data. Once we started integrating the remote source into the backend, we realized that the remote database we were actually using supported local caching by default, making the bottom left-hand side of the old architecture redundant. We then revised our old architecture to create the new one seen on the right. In order to keep the front-end and back-end completely separate, we use a main repository and specific repositories. The main repository is used in the view models to get data for the front-end and simply calls its equivalent function in a specific repository. This allows the main repository to be referenced in every view model within the front-end, while also allowing for multiple specific repositories that can get any data from any data source if needed. After finishing the back-end and front-end of the application, the final product can be seen on the right-hand side.
Throughout the project, we have learnt many different skills. We have learnt technical skills primarily related to Android lifecycles, architecture, and coding languages, in particular Kotlin. We have also learnt managerial skills, which include organization, communication, and documentation. Lastly, if we had been given more time to work on this project, there are a select few bonus tasks we would have liked to implement. The two main ones are incorporating location services and linking restaurant phone numbers to generate calls upon click. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and we look forward to answering any questions you may have.